Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Karina, Ishan, Sampada, Athar, Haribol, how are you?
Good, Prabhuji.
Good, good, good.
Prabhuji, last week or the week before, we have done the state test, Prabhuji, and I got one of the most highest scores for like fast tests. I got a 4 on my math and I got a 5 on my reading. Those are one of the highest scores, Prabhuji.
Really? Wow. That is so inspiring, Karina. Congratulations.
Thank
This
you
is
so
really
much.
good.
Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
I'm so happy you're getting such good scores and offering to the Lord. Right? So we have a special discussion today, right? Are you all excited to hear that? Who is really excited? Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 is highest, 1 is lowest. What's your level of enthusiasm or excitement to hear today's special? 8, 10, 9. Okay. 7. Oh, you got henna painting. Isha. Athar, what's your score? 8, 7,
9.
9. Wow. So Advaita Chandra Prabhu should be joining really shortly. But like always, we will chant one round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra Japa, and then we will have a conversation with him today. And I'm sure it will be very, very benefiting for all of us, and, especially for myself, because all of you, sincere souls, are like my teachers. I always say that, and I really mean it from my heart. So I learn a lot from all of you. So with that, let's begin our one round of chanting. We always say, chant with our mouth, hear with our ears, and pray from our heart, so that we can call out Krishna and really call Krishna in our heart and genuinely pray, so that we can engage in loving devotional service. And you can also unmute, as we always do. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Piti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishishashunyavadi Pashad Deshtarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Ram,
Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare Rama Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Hare Ram
Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna
Hare
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 Ram Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Ram Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna Hare
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Ram Ram Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram
Ram Ram Hare Hare Shri Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Shri Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gauri Bhaktavrinda Gurave Gauri Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namanaya Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tatta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Surate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesh Shanyavadi Panchara Deshatarani Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Tinatharinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishvaram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much for taking out your valuable time. Hari Hari Bol, I'm so happy to see Karina, Isha, Purba, Purbi, Jashit, Ishan, Vihan, Avani, Nishita, Nihira, Hari Bol, Vinita, Vedehi, Athar, Rama, yeah, and some of your cameras are off. Sampada, Navya, Vrinda, Ishan, Prapti, Haley. If you could quickly rename yourselves and type your city and state, the 2 letters of your state and city, that would be very helpful. Prabhu should be joining any moment now. How is everyone doing today? How is Jashan doing? Maybe he's doing good. Okay. Very nice. So we should be starting any moment now. Okay. Can you all type in when is your summer vacation starting? So I get a good idea of when is your summer vacation starting? Okay.
The last day for my school is May 26th.
26th, May 26th. 26th, for most of you, it's 26th, 25th. For some of you, it's June, huh? Some people has June, okay. I was thinking of some special project for this summer. Right? So what we should do. Okay, I'll give you 3 options. You want to, while Prabhu is going to join, you want to make a video, or you want to make a poster like you did last time and a video out of that poster, or you might want to make a video, edit a video, and that's option 2. Or option 3 is, you will be the main person speaking, or something else. Yeah. Can you type in? So I see how many want video or how many want poster plus video. What's 2? Sorry, I forgot. 2 is poster. You can now type in, so I'll get a good idea. Type in 2 is poster and video. Poster plus video like you did last time. We got a lot of 2s. You really liked that project last time? Was it fun, engaging, helpful? Very good. Okay, then we'll do that. So think about today. I will use this time to give you a brief background of Advaita Chandra Prabhu, who's going to join any moment now. A lot of us have heard about Prahlad Maharaj, right? Have you heard of Prahlad Maharaj at some point? Right. In which yuga did he come? Which yuga? Yes, Avani?
Satyayuga.
Satyayuga. And approximately millions of years back, right? Can we say that? Millions of years back he came. And then we may get inspiration. But then you may say, well, I want to see something in the contemporary world, correct? I want to don't talk about, it's okay to take inspiration from some personality, millions of years, but how do we really apply in today's circumstances? How do we really put those principles in contemporary situations? Isn't that question comes in your mind? How many of you have felt that at some point in your Krishna conscious journey, right? Have you felt that? Rama has felt that. Good. I certainly feel so many, many times. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanibhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. My humble obeisance to you, Advaita Chandra Prabhu, and to all the devotees assembled here. So, dear Advaita Chandra Prabhu has joined. I'll make you the co-host in case you want to share anything or. So, my dear friends, we will get started with today's discussion. And I will do a brief introduction about His Grace Advaita Chandra Prabhu. And then this will be very informal discussion. And we want to hear from you. I know you have quite a few engagements and you just came from Sunday Feast program and right into the Zoom. Thank you, Prabhu. Are you feeling comfortable? Is it okay?
I'm absolutely comfortable. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you. So dear Advaita Chandra Prabhu is around 13 years age. In our audience, we have some devotees who are around 10 years, some 12, some 14, so it's a mixed audience, but the average is close to 13 years. So I thought, who could be a better person than you to talk to these wonderful group of Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who are your age, more or less. And they're also very sincerely practicing. But when I hear your example that you got the first initiation at the age of 10 years and the second initiation at the age of 11 years from His Holiness Bhiri Krishna Goswami Maharaj, your worshipable spiritual master, and living in a life of devotion, bhakti. So I'll take this opportunity to begin, a few questions, and then I would request our devotees assembled in the call, on the Zoom call, to raise your hand if you have a question. We want to hear your question so that it's not just a dialogue between me and Advaita Chandra Prabhu. So it's more like most of you get a chance to ask your question. But I know you may be a little shy, so I'll break the ice by asking, one or two questions in the beginning. So Prabhu, first of all, let's welcome dear Advaita Chandra Prabhu by 3 times loudly chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhu. We welcome you from our heart, and we offer you a Zoom garland so that you can bless us with your association today. Bhakti is something which, people always think it's time, like, at the age of 50 or 60, 70, but you are so young. And not just you are practicing bhakti, you're practicing so sincerely, at the age of 13 years, getting initiation. So maybe if you could, start with like a background of how, you came to Krishna consciousness, your family, your spiritual master, the place where you live, a little bit about yourself and your, spiritual and material background. That would be great for all of us to know. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. I'd first like to start off with saying Hare Krishna to everybody on the call. I'm 13 years old and I know that there are many youth that are older than me. So I'd like to just offer my pranams and just take my blessings of my elders. I'd like to wish the best for my peers, and I'd like to, for whoever's younger, whoever may be slightly younger in age, and I'm always there to help you. You can contact me, I'll be there. And I'd like to mention one thing. Shubhavilas Govinda Prabhu gave a very hefty introduction. And honestly, I don't deserve as much praise because whatever has happened, it's happened by the mercy of the Vaishnavas. And also, I have I discovered his channel quite a while back. So I've been seeing the various sessions he does, and also there's a playlist of many of the kids' sessions. And I was looking, I just clicked on one, and you were all discussing about the different types of students, and previously we were talking about Yayati pastime, and I was looking at, wow, what a wonderful program is going on here. And you're all are very fortunate to have the association of Subhavilash Govinda Prabhu, who is there helping you at every step. I'd like to take his pranams, his blessings. You were saying anything? I'd also not like to intimidate any of you. I am just like one of your own friends, all right? Many people look at me and say, oh, Brahman initiated at 12. My Gurudev dragged me into it. I was nowhere qualified. My Gurudev dragged me into it. And it's funny, I had to refuse him 2 times because I felt I was not eligible. And then he again insisted, how many times am I going to say no to my own Gurudev? So it's simply all mercy. You please feel free to open up, talk to me. I I have so much I can learn from all of you. You are all learning things in depth that I have not reached yet. Like that verse, I have not memorized it. I have a list of verses to memorize. I have not memorized that verse of all those students, and it's definitely there. And that was definitely inspiration from Subhavilas Govinda Prabhu. So now I'll get to the question that how did I come to Krishna consciousness? It's actually another mercy episode, you can say. I wasn't born, unfortunately, into Krishna consciousness. Fortunately and unfortunately, because everything happens according to Krishna's plan. But one thing is that when I was, my parents were the traditional Hindu parents who would go to every single temple nearby. And we had actually, I am born in India. We stayed in France for 2 years. The first 2 years of my life I spent in France, and then we came here. So ever since I was like 2.5, 3, I've been here and been circulating around the temples in this NC area, North Carolina. And there's there's the Hindu society, there's Venkateshwara temple, and it's all nice, very like nice, at like what do you call, nice vibration going on, especially in Venkateshwara temple. Very, very nice. Hindu society is filled with many different people, all the Hindus with their own ideals. So my parents, they took me to a temple, ISKCON temple, because it's one of the temples around the area. Why not go visit? So we visited, and the temple was quite nice. My parents liked it. My father looked at the deities, and he said, in the middle of a jungle, such beautiful deities I have never seen. Even the Hindu society, they had so many deities, and so it was very diverse. But here in our altar, it's just Radha and Krishna here in New Goloka. So my father looked at it and, wow, like deities in the middle of a forest, as if we're very much, we're not in the city, main city, our temple. So I started coming here and there in our temple orbits, so to speak, from this temple to that temple. But one particular day, Janmashtami, we decided we'd stay in this temple. We came to New Goloka temple. I saw the cultural performances. I saw Radha Golokananda. And I told my parents, this is my favorite temple. To the extent, I don't remember this, my parents tell this to me. I was 4 years old. I wouldn't get off at the Hindu temple. I wouldn't get off the car. I was so stubborn. I said, I want to go to that temple where that Mataji danced, where they did that drama, and where there's the beautiful deities, Radha Golokananda. I want to go there. And somehow Krishna planted Radha Golokananda. They planted that attraction, and I'm very grateful for that. So that's kind of where it started. Then they brought me more often, of course, because that's the only temple I wanted to go to. So they kind of listened to me because they didn't want to deal with much tantrum. They said, okay, it's a good temple. Let us just go here. And I joined the Sunday school. The most dangerous move. The most dangerous move of Krishna consciousness, joining the Sunday school. After that, gradually, my parents also joined. They used to stay outside the Sunday school, protective. Our son is there. They were outside. Then after that, the Sunday school teacher said that, like, my parents gained faith that I was okay. And they went to the temple. They heard the 4 regulative principles. And specifically, meat eating, we were not so good in that particular point. But eventually, Krishna helped us, and it was very easy for me. And my parents also had a very smooth transition. And that's how we kind of got more and more involved. I joined the Gurukula. I made Krishna conscious friends, little by little. I associated with devotees, like that, senior devotees. I got the attraction gradually. So that's how it started.
That's so beautiful. At the age of 4 years, right? Was the first sign. Yeah, that's so amazing. And since how long, you have been chanting 16 rounds, and can you tell about your like spiritual sadhana, if you feel comfortable? Like
Sure.
what are the things you do, and from how long you have been doing that, and how much time of your day it takes
So, in my journey to chanting 16 rounds, it went through ups and downs, I would say. That, yes, I would chant, but at some points of time, I wasn't. Not that I'm very dedicated now. I try my best because Guru is telling me I chant. That's my mood still. Guru is telling me I should chant. But at that point of time, I was 7 or 8. I was chanting. I started chanting. I was learning Bhagavad Gita verses. I was into Gurukula. I loved Krishna consciousness. Chanting, it took some time. I went to 16 rounds sometimes, and then after that, I'd go back down to 4 and saying that I'll focus on 4. Then I gradually went up and up and up, and I'd do 16 rounds. And eventually, until I was 9, it wasn't really steady. And also in 9, the conviction wasn't there, the full conviction. I was chanting, and I was trying my best. My mind was much more fickle. It's still fickle, childlike mind, but it was much more here and there, running around here and there. So I did go through struggles in that particular scenario, but gradually, it picked up. When I was 9, that's the time it really picked up. And I said, I'm going to chant 16 rounds and I'm going to continue it. Just the association of devotees, whatever little Shastra I'd known at that point of time, I was continuously memorizing verses, reading. I had always inclination for Shastra. I loved Shastra. And that kind of inspired me to start chanting. And I got into 16 rounds, and as of today, I'm gradually getting better with completing them on time. It's gone through more of an evolution, I would say. That in the beginning, when I got initiated, my rounds, the schedule was little not as good as I'd want it to be. And I'm being absolutely honest here, because there's nothing to hide. I at at 10 I was initiated, so that load of initiation was there. So I was chanting 16 rounds, but sometimes it would go to the night, sometimes it would go to the evening. And I thought, this is just not good. This is just not good. I can't do this. I can't be chanting at night. I can't be like postponing it after. And that time my studies weren't even that much. My studies were I was slightly higher always in my grade level because of one small fact. I skipped kindergarten. So I was always 1 year ahead, which didn't really affect much. So gradually, I thought that, you know what, I'm going to finish earlier. I set myself that informal goal, not like a very stern thing, that try to finish rounds before 3 p.m. Sometimes it would go over, but I tried to regulate it there. And now gradually, with the help of my parents, especially my mother, we both go on japa walks in the morning. I get up and I complete at least 8 rounds by now in the morning. And this has been going like on and off. We don't every day get to do the japa walk. But now lately in the past 1.5 years, I've been a little bit more serious about finishing my rounds on time and doing it earlier. And so for me, one problem I faced while chanting is my chanting. When I was 7 or 8, my chanting went very fast to the extent my parents doubted that you chanted 16 rounds or not. Like, so fast, how did you complete so fast? And then, like, when I just got initiated, I went through this long round phase, and I'm still recovering from it, honestly. It used to take me like from 10 to 11 and a half to 12, actually, till the age of 12, those 2 years. It's taking a long time to chant, like 4 hours. And right now it's kind of balancing out, but it's finishing 2 hours, 2 hours 15 minutes. Sometimes if my focus is very good, I can do it in 1 hour 45 minutes. But mainly japa, I'd say my japa has improved a lot lately because of the association I've had. Because of the association I've had, the more I've slightly increased, like just tried at least to increase dedication. I see someone's hand is raised. Go
Thank you,
ahead.
Prabhu. This is very, very inspiring that I see that behind every successful child, there is a successful or inspirational parents, mother
I
or
don't know what you
father.
mean by. I see them behind every successful.
Sorry, Siri somehow went on. We're speaking and then Siri came into ecstasy. Please go ahead, Prabhu.
No, I was just mentioning about your glorious mother and father who are always supporting and helping. It's very, very important. It's not just, like every parent wants a child like Prahlad, but, that they have to support, right? Also, and especially in the young age till 15, 20 years, right? That's very, very inspiring. And I really like your openness and honesty that we all go through ups and downs, but setting that incremental goal. Okay, today I'm completing at 9. Let me go from 9 to 6 p.m. From 6 p.m. to whatever rounds, 4, 8 rounds, whatever rounds we're chanting, let from 6 p.m. to maybe to 3 p.m. And gradually we can get to in the morning hours. It's not just for kids, but it's also applicable for every devotee, actually, and myself. So thank you, Prabhu. I think Vedi Mataji has a question, and others also. If you have a question, you can raise your hand and I will spotlight you so you can ask your question directly. And we want to keep it engaging. So any question, any spiritual related, any balance about life, bhakti, academics, because he's in the same country as all of you. He's doing the same school and bhakti process, which we are all doing. So I thought, why don't you ask her questions directly? So Vedi, then Sampada, then Athar. Let's go in that order, please.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. So I have 2 questions.
Go ahead.
My first question is, how were you inspired to take your first initiation? And my second one was, since you're probably in maybe middle school now, or close to that maybe, since your workload has increased, how are you balancing that with your bhakti and like your chanting time? Hare Krishna.
Okay, sure. Now, what inspired me to take Harinam and academics, the balancing? So okay, let's start with Harinam initiation. What inspired me to take Harinam? Honestly, initiation, it was more from the guru side, but what inspired me to go on the path of initiation is, honestly, I attribute it to the people who I was associating with. What I did is I'm currently in Gurukula, and I'm 13, and since it's registered as a homeschool co-op, I can go at it like a homeschooling perspective. And what that means is that I can go at my own pace, which means that currently I would be in 7th or 8th grade age group, but thanks to me being with, like, always being with kids older to my age, I'm currently in 9th grade. And this is because, like, everyone in the Gurukula was older than me, and they took high school courses, and I was in 5th grade, and I saw that this looks doable maybe, and I started taking high school courses. And it's not like I'm special or something, that's why I'm like this genius. I'll tell you, I struggle a lot, especially mathematics. Oh Krishna, nightmares about mathematics. I mean, once I understand a concept, but when there's a new algebraic function, something like that, my head starts ringing. So it's not that I'm a genius, it's just that I got the opportunity to be able to do that, to be able to do courses in front. Now, Harina, yes. I don't know how I got tracked to the thing. You can tell I'm a chatterbox. All I do is talk all day. But I don't know how I came to academics, but yes, association. So I went to Gurukula, which made my association and studies a lot around the temple. And also, I tried my best to associate with devotees, senior devotees in our community, and Prabhupada disciples. I felt that attraction to them, and I tried to take advantage of their association, which helped me a lot. And just that naturally that desire came in that I should take initiation. I should chant 16 rounds. It's heavily depends on association. And even in public school, one thing is I have some incredibly close friends who go to public school. Like they're literally like older sisters and older brothers. I'm always paired with kids older than me, and I'm very close with them. So they all of them, all of my very close friends go to public school. I'm close with my Gurukula friends, but somehow, I'm closer to them. So I know what they go through in public school, and I know the system very well. And the association there, it can be interesting, but to kind of minimize that, I'd encourage increasing association here at temple, taking advantage of every second and letting that association hang on. And the fact that I went to Gurukula helped, definitely. But the thing is that I still made that active decision, which I'm thankful Paramatma somehow inspired me to just take that association. And that's the main reason, that is my main impetus to take initiation, that inspiration. Now, academics. This is quite an interesting subject matter here. So, yes, Gurukula, we match the county state requirements of academics. We do this very similar, just a homeschool version of the normal courses, the various curriculums. We do the end of grade testing. We do mid-year, like it's informal testing. The end of year testing is more like it's approved by state. The mid-year testing is of our individual curriculums, which it's like more internal. So one thing that I've noticed, and I was not always very good at this, I've lately become a little bit better because of just same principle, associating with devotees increased my sadhana, little by little the quality of my sadhana. Sadhana gave me more impetus to study Shastra, like that it's a chain, and that Shastra, whatever reading, chanting, that all helped me. Listening to lectures, the importance of lectures, I cannot stress this enough. That listen to your favorite speakers and practical, like grab all the practical points. And at that point of time, I realized that everyone has their own schedule. You can't just impose a schedule that you have to do it like this and you have to do it like that. And that's the problem I see many youth my age face, that, oh, we need to do chanting in this way, we need to regulate our schedule in this way. You can't necessarily give a person a schedule without knowing what their activities are throughout the day. It's not possible. One thing is that as far as my experience goes, whatever limited experience I may have, is that analyzing my schedule and finding how do I give Krishna my number one priority, and how do I take my studies as a service to Krishna. For example, I am trying to chant in the morning. Sometimes it doesn't happen. I'm chanting in the morning. I go to the temple, I go to Gurukula, I study, I go to school, and there sometimes there's a 10-minute break. We have a shorter school day because we have eliminated all breaks. We might as well have break after the school. So we've eliminated all breaks. And find a way to fit Krishna, and think about Krishna. That's a realization I had, that just because our acharyas are telling us, trust them, and whatever we do it for Krishna. Just trusting them. We may have no faith. We may feel bitter. Just like it might feel that Krishna, how much Krishna? Just because Prabhupada said we should engage our, heart in Krishna. And somehow, it depends on sincerity, which again depends on association. That how much sincere we are, how much we can give Krishna our priority, that is the thing. Sometimes my chanting does go a little late, which has happened, I try not to make that happen anymore, but it still happens, and it probably might happen as I go on. But I have world history homework, I have a take-home test which I have to probably get to after this call and things like that. It's due tomorrow. Oh, I'm just remembering more homework. I shouldn't do that. So, and I'm just finding ways how it's more of arranging your schedule and figuring out what's practical for you, and what's favorable for you. And if you're figuring out that you're lacking somewhere, you're your best judge. You are your own best judge. If you see that I'm lacking somewhere, take baby steps. That's something I recently learned. Instead of leaping, I'm chanting 4 rounds. I'm going to go back to 16. No, I'm going to, let me chant 6. No, I'm going to go back to 16. No, 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 let me chant 8. Just jumping, might as well just go 6, 8, 10, 14. And those baby steps are what matter. And I've noticed that you hear so many things. You should do this. You should do that. When am I going to like remember all this? That I should be doing this. I should be doing that. Is to break it down. Work on one thing at a time. That okay, my japa is lacking. I'm going to give priority to emphasize my japa. I'm going to give priority to Shastra. I'm going to give priority to this. Okay, so now my studies are being compromised, but I've been chanting a lot of, I've been chanting japa in the time I'm supposed to be studying. So that's more to figure out, and that determination. So as far as how I balance it, I try to find those gaps where I can fit Krishna into, and it's more of like what you want to prioritize when and what baby steps you want to take to which part. It's always a gradual improvement process, as far as I see it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for, so many critical lessons you mentioned in your response. Very, very nice, Prabhu. Thank you. So, okay, now next, Sampada, would you like to ask your question, please?
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. My question is, how do you maintain discipline in your life? Because like in bhakti, like it's so important. You have to sleep early, wake up early, you have to chant. Like everything needs discipline. So how do you maintain that? Haribol.
You hit the target on discipline. That's been my baby step for now. Essentially, I've noticed that it's the time of my life that everything is so disorganized, I need to organize it. I look at my schedule, I need to organize it. And I have so many things. I have so many extracurriculars, this, that I forget which one I have when. I have a meeting with someone. I'm doing courses outside to get credits, and this is just for dual enrollment program. And I scheduled a meeting with my liaison, and I scheduled it for in the next 2 days. And then that day, I just decide, I have time today. I have no engagements. I'm going to read Bhagavatam today. It's been like a few days I've not read Bhagavatam. And like, I personally have attraction to Shastra. Everyone has their own attraction, own like place where they want to fit in, according to one's nature, according to what Krishna gives. I'm like, I can finally open it. And I open it. And I talk about, and then it's written in the Bhagavatam, one should make sure that one should be disciplined in various aspects of life. May it be for educational purposes, it's part of the purport. May it be for educational purposes. May it be for mental purposes. May it be for physical purposes, emotional purposes. Educational, why does that sound so familiar? Oh my god, I have a meeting to do. I have a meeting. And I ran up and I requested apology. I was 5 minutes late. And I realized that my life is disorganized. And to organize it, of course, setting priorities, but more than priorities is that when you have so many things to consider, you forget some of them. So what I did is I have a board. I wrote down all the things I have, and then on my phone, I open a note app, and I write all the things I want to, like extra things I want to do, and then I have a journal, which sometimes I can do, sometimes I don't. But I look at my board, I look at my phone, I see, so this, my phone have my long-term goals, my board has my like activities, like you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. And whenever I can, I'm not too good with the journal, but I just look sometimes. I'm not like, I just look at the board, look, and I see that, okay, I have to do this, and then I want to do this by the end of this year. Like I have particular exams as a homeschooler. I want to take the SAT. I need to go to a public school campus to take the SAT. So I have that written on my phone instead of my board, that I have to make work according to the SAT eventually. But board, okay, so I have to prepare for this exam at Gurukula. And if I have time, maybe I can look up campuses that offer SAT. So essentially discipline in terms of academics, for me, I made it visual. I tried to sorry, I'm stuttering. In the board, I wrote it down, and I'm just kind of like, whenever I remember something, I write it down now in some place, and I regularly check so that I don't forget things, which I'm very, very expert at doing. And in terms of sadhana, discipline, gradually, just the more you immerse yourself in Krishna consciousness, the more your sadhana gets better, and the more you want to immerse yourself in Krishna consciousness, which will boost your sadhana. So it's essentially it's a continuously developing process as far as I can see it with my limited knowledge, and just continue doing what you're doing, but try to add a little bit more sincerity this time. And like I said for the Vaidehi, yes, as I said for Vaidehi, that just like uh, my mind is going faster than my mouth at this point of time. I learned this phrase from Chaitanya Charan Prabhu lectures. My mind is going faster than my mouth at that point of time. But it's like baby steps, yes. As I said, for her, that the little bit that where am I lacking sincerity, I should go, because discipline is not something that happens immediately. It's not that I woke up, oh my god, I woke up disciplined. Now I've got to do everything with discipline. It's a vast meaning to discipline, and it's more of how much dedication we have, and gradually become stricter and stricter with ourselves. We don't have to do that with others. Others we encourage, say, oh, it's very nice. But for ourselves, I've noticed that we should be a little strict on ourselves, and not too strict that we start saying that, oh, that we start like losing self-esteem and things like that. But set ourselves in such a way that, oh, I could not accomplish this. I need to accomplish this. I need to increase. And how do I increase? Little by little. I'm not so focused in my rounds. Maybe I won't be able to carry it through at my 16, and this is personally speaking, maybe not 16. I'll at least focus on the Maha mantras, and if my mind goes, I'll actively try to take it back. I can't read Bhagavatam every day now because I have this extra assignment. It's kind of overdue, so I need to do that, but I need to make sure that learning from mistakes, I'd say. Yeah. If we make a mistake, we should learn from it. If we figure out that we're going off, it's a continuous process. So that's as far as how I see it. Dedication is a continuously, you get more and more dedicated, as per there are various factors, association, little baby steps like that. Yes.
Thank you, Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very inspiring. If I could just add something I recently heard,
Please.
and someone shared this nice image. I'm going to share my screen. As you mentioned, baby steps, incremental steps. So 365 days we have is for myself. I'm just sharing as all of you friends. If we just do like 1% extra, or just like try to do 1% better than what we did yesterday, and do that for 365 days, it comes out to be 37 times more. If we do only the same, like 1 times 365, 1 power 365, sorry, that's 1. But if you do 1% less than what you did yesterday, and with a compound effect, with the power of 365, you are almost close to 0. So very interesting, I thought to share. But I really like your, incremental progress, baby steps, and very nice. So now we have Atharv Prabhu from Jackson to ask your next question, please.
Hare Krishna.
1 second. I just like to acknowledge I did receive a message in the chat of a question. I'll get to answering that soon. I'll give priority to Atharva now, and I'll answer the chat question in a second. Yes, go ahead, Atharva.
Hare Krishna. So, I have 2 questions. So, first off, do you like give like little classes to kids that are like younger than you? Because like I know that you know a lot. So.
Well, yes, actually, in the Bhakti Vriksha, regarding if I know a lot, if that seems to you, I'm very happy because that shows that I've been listening more attentively to my superiors, that I've been absorbing some, and that I'm able to share a little bit, whatever I can. And I'm so grateful for the Association of Vaishnavas, the senior Vaishnavas who have taught me whatever I know now. So I'll pass on the praise to them. And yes, I do. In the Bhakti Vriksha classes, in fact, some Prabhuji just pulled up to our house straight from the Sunday feast. Their kids are downstairs. So they also come to that Bhakti Vriksha. We have various cities, like our temple is central, and then there are various cities that are around it where devotees come. So there's, depending on city, like actually there's one place where there's highly Indian population. So there's like 2 or 3 Bhakti Vrikshas now in that place. Whereas we live in the same city as the temple, there are devotees around here also a lot. So we have one Bhakti Vriksha here, not compared to there. But yeah, I take the kids class. And my father, he's leading that Hillsborough Bhakti Vriksha. And he does the adults class, and I take the kids up. We do shlokas. We're working on meanings now, the meanings of the shlokas. And we also do something that is like, we do this each time. We hear a story and then we practice a skit upstairs, and then we go downstairs and perform. So it's serves 2 purposes. The enactment of the pastime, it goes deeper into the heart, and another thing is that it brings them a lot of confidence. That, oh, I'm performing. It's like not the biggest Bhakti Vriksha in the world, you know. It's like 5, 6 families, sometimes 7 if you're lucky, come. But it's just like the Hillsborough area, whoever. There are many devotees in the temple who sleep earlier than the Bhakti Vriksha time, because they are committed to Mangal Arati and things like that. So not everybody in the Hillsborough area can come. But yeah, I try to engage the kids in as many ways as possible. Games also, we play musical chairs. We use pillows instead of chairs, and I sing. I take to Mridanga, I start singing, closing my eyes. I stop singing, and then they all sit down on the cushion like that. So we try to Krishnaize our games. So yes, I do have little interaction with the younger ones, and we do discuss Shastra together. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so my next question is, so do you does anyone outside the Krishna consciousness, does anyone know that you've been initiated, anyone from the public schools?
Well, as I said, I go to Gurukula, but I'm very good friends with devotees who go to public school. They're literally, like, as I said, like older brothers and older sisters. I'm lucky to have such close friends. And they of course know I'm initiated. In fact, some of them are initiated themselves. Vaisheshika Prabhu disciple, one is one of them. I have few god brother, 3 of them are one god brother, 2 god sisters. And yeah, there's also Ramchandra, he's aspiring from Sripad Ratnat Maharaj, my very dear Siksha Guru. And so they know I'm initiated, but I do know like some non-Krishna conscious people, like non-Krishna conscious, I'm using the term instead of non-devotee, because essentially everyone has their chance. They're not yet conscious of Krishna yet. So I'm just using the term non-Krishna conscious, that in terms that they are not Krishna conscious yet. And yes, I do know, and I'm not 100% sure if they know that I'm initiated. But I try to, instead of being very, very preachy, which it sometimes is my tendency, I try to share a connection. I try to not sometimes there's some people I know that I'm in Krishna consciousness, who know little something about Krishna consciousness, but I just talk with them normally, and I just strike a connection. I said, oh, you're taking this course? Yeah, I'm taking the equivalent course here. And then what's here? And then oh, you do that? Oh, that's what you think should be in? I personally think, and then gradually I introduce philosophy. It's not like, and then it's never like bombarding, but I tend to keep connections with few, not too many. If I were in public school, there would be many, but I have a few connections here and there with individuals who are not yet in Krishna consciousness. And yeah, they do not know that I'm initiated into the process or something like that. They know that I follow Krishna consciousness now. Faintly, yeah.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you. Adhar Prabhu, thank you for your nice question. I really like that how you encouraged that you are taking class while your father is taking the Bhakti Vriksha for the elders, the parents. So I would encourage all of the devotees on the call that you can do something similar. I know quite a few of your parents take Bhakti Vriksha classes for the community or are involved. So you can take this chance to do Bhakti Vriksha for the kids. And it doesn't need to be necessarily a class, like as Prabhu said, it's basically dance, drama, fun, kirtan, musical chair, using pillows, like creative and Krishna conscious. Very, very inspiring, Prabhu, very inspiring. I wish I was a kid in your class. Okay, I know some of you also asked anonymous questions to Prabhu. That is absolutely fine. I know you are very, very, very scared of me. That is fine. Or you want to keep yourself anonymous. You don't want to be like, you're not a camera person, so you don't want to ask in public, especially this is recording, and you want to ask a written question to either me or Prabhu. We will keep it anonymous also if you have, that feeling. So I think someone already did that. So let's take that, Prabhu.
Yeah, I realize that she's also raising her hand. Would you like to be anonymous? You can chat it to me if you would, but if you're fine being public, then yeah.
Okay, is it Navya?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, sure. You can go ahead and verbalize the question.
How are you inspired how are you inspired to choose your Guru Maharaj and meet him?
Now this is probably one of the biggest times of my spiritual life, I'd say. You hit a particular part of me that takes me back to those days. I had an extremely difficult time choosing Guru Maharaj, honestly, I would say. I still loved the three of them incredibly, and now it's four that I love incredibly. And actually, in the GBC of our community is His Holiness Viri Krishna Goswami Maharaj. And my parents, they are disciples of Shripad Radhanath Swami Maharaj. And I've had some beautiful interactions with His Holiness Indradyumna Maharaj. So I was incredibly attracted to the three. Indradyumna Maharaj just touched my heart. Radhanath Maharaj touched my heart too. Virakrishna Maharaj touched my heart too. The thing is that Virakrishna Maharaj kind of raised me. Radhanath Maharaj just, was always, they just took me in with his katha. His lectures are so nectarian. His kirtans are so beautiful. Indradyumna Maharaj has had so many spiritual boosting, events. And whenever I see him, I just get a very secured feeling. It's just like it touches my heart. It's like I'm overusing this statement, but it's very valuable, this statement to me. When I say very few people can do that, touch my heart to the deeply. And essentially, after reading about Diksha Guru and Siksha Guru, everyone's familiar with these two things. With Shubha Vilas Govinda Prabhu, you discussed so many topics, so I'm pretty sure you're familiar. But just in case, and for my own benefit, I will repeat it, that Diksha Guru is who gives initiation, and he can be one. And the Siksha Guru is he who gives instructions, and there can be many. And it came down to Diksha Guru and Siksha Guru. But it's not that easy of a decision to make to who should be the Diksha Guru at that point of time. Other two are incredibly dear. And then, Sadhu Sangha 2019, I went to Sadhu Sangha, and Indradyumna Maharaj took many of us youth to his room, and he was keeping his DT back, his DTs back in the boxes, and he was showing amazing things like his self-manifested Shaligram Shila, his self-manifested Nrsinga Shila, which is 2,000 years old, and it was just an amazing experience, Jiva Goswami's bead, and various things. And one of the people accompanying me, she asked Indradyumna Maharaj that, can you take initiation from 2 Maharajas? Just like that, an innocent question. And Indradyumna Maharaj said, yes. And then she said, because I want to take first from Radhanath Maharaj and second from Indradyumna Maharaj. I'm like, this is quite similar to my situation. I was like, I was ready to hear this answer. And then Indradyumna Maharaj said that, I recommend you take both from Radhanath Maharaj, and he can be your stern father, and I can be that fun uncle who you come to, who you only have fun with, and we always are there. It's going to be an informal relationship. We can have, I can be that very loving uncle that you come to whenever you're maybe a little upset with your father or something like that. And I love that statement. Like, wow, that's the exact relationship I have with Indradyumna Maharaj. That yes, he's just like that. He's a fatherly figure. He's just like uncle. He's that person for me. So that little bit narrowed it down. But the thing is that he was still in my. I loved him so much, and then I realized you can love Siksha Guru, Diksha Guru equally. There's no constraint in that. And then eventually, I saw that how Bhakti Krishna Maharaj literally raised me in Krishna consciousness. He was there. He used to. In the class, like we had such a close connection. Like in the middle of a class, he'd point at me and said, my previous name was Ayush. He would say that, Ayush, say this verse, and then he'd say, I just quote a verse, Raja Vidyam Raja Guhyam, and he'd say, Ayush, complete the verse. Pavitramidam uttamam pratikshavagamam dharmam susukam kartam avyayam. So I'd complete the verse, and like that it was there. And sometimes I'd give him fruits. Me and my mother did breakfast seva for a while. My mother's seva has switched. Like, it's always in the kitchen, but different timings. Now it's during Gurukula timing, so I cannot go and help her. But I used to help her for breakfast seva. And then there was one thing that you give Gurudev fruits. He does not eat. Gurudev has a very strict diet. So he does not take much. He only takes his own, whatever he cooks, like quinoa soup, and then fruits. So I always make a rich fruit salad. That's my duty. Fruit salad, wash Krishna's plate, make a drink. And if there's time, I set the oatmeal and halwa. My mother makes the main preparations. So, and yeah, she kind of trained me there. So I'd make a very nice fruit salad. I'd somehow run to the cooler, make sure, so I'd get all the berries possible, all the fruits. I'd cut up a fruit salad, and then I'd run to him and give him fruits, and he'd go take the fruits. He'd say Hare Krishna. He'd walk, but then he'd look back. He'll say Advaita Chandra. In all the what do all the degrees in a triangle add up to? And he'd just look at me and quiz me, and I 180 Gurudev? He said yes, 180. And he'd go. And just like that, he would quiz me. And that was a very close connection. So I took Diksha from him, keeping Radhanath Maharaj and Indradyumna Maharaj also very close to my heart. So that's a very big episode of picking Guru Maharaj. But it's not really picking. I have many Guru Janas who I love very much. Yes.
Prabhuji, I have one more question. How old do you have to be able to take initiation?
It depends on Guru. Whenever Guru is ready to give you, you can take. Whenever Guru sees sincerity or is giving you the mercy, and is the fact that he is going to give you the mercy and he'll pull you into initiation, is that what happened is I verbalized to Gurudev that I was aspiring, and 2 months later he's like, okay, you should take initiation. And I'm like, oh, Krishna. That's a different story. Thing is that it depends on who your spiritual master is and what Krishna's plan is especially. It can be any age, according to sincerity, according to the how much mercy you receive, if Guru is ready to give. It depends on many factors. A better person to ask this question to would be Shubha Vilas Govinda Prabhu. He can give you a deeper answer.
Thank you, Navya, and thank you, Prabhu, for such clear response. I was remembering a quote from Srila Prabhupada where he writes, "Every individual above the age of 12 years should be initiated."
Oh, there's a quote. Ah.
Yeah, yeah. I read it at some place. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, keep it, my dear friends. So in ISKCON, like we will talk maybe in a future class, there's a whole system for initiation. Before that, there's a shelter, and then you have to select the right spiritual master, and then also exhibit the qualities of a right disciple. And it's kind of a mutual match. But maybe we'll cover that some other day. Very nice question. Now we'll move on to Binayak Prabhu. And we have quite a few questions, so try to keeping the time in mind. Prabhu has a homework, and all of you also have assignments and tests.
Honestly, like my homework is under control. I'd like to give you priority at this point of time. It's a little. I've done most of it yesterday. Yeah.
Yes, Binayak Prabhu, please go ahead. And then next is Karina, and then Rama.
Hare Krishna Pranam Pranam August Srila Prabhupada. I've had this question for a long time because when I chant, I don't exactly like to chant, but I know if I chant, I'll go to Krishna, and it'll lead me on the right path. How are you supposed to gradually increase over time on your chanting?
Increase taste or increase rounds?
Both.
Both. Okay. So essentially, it's as I made the point, and I'll add points. First, keeping in mind that I've already mentioned association, the baby steps, and yeah, association and baby steps. Keeping in mind that I've already said that. Japa, I totally empathize with you at this point of time. Sometimes it's, oh, Japa is 16 rounds, 108 names, like 108 holy names per round, and it takes like quite a few seconds per holy name, and you start going through all these calculations, and oh my god. And okay, let me do 4 rounds, let me do 8 rounds. And honestly, it starts on picking it up at your pace. And one thing that I personally saw is that although this is not the goal, maybe start with one part of Krishna that you enjoy. It can even be literally not actually watching, but re-watching in your mind's eye Little Krishna series. If you're attached to Little Krishna series while you chant, or like for older age group, something you like about Krishna's characteristics, some verses you like, some find a place, find something about Krishna you like, or I should say, and find something about Krishna you like, and set a goal that you really want to achieve, that you really want to achieve. Like you said, we'll go to Krishna. When you grow older, how old are you now? How old are you?
I am 12.
12. Very nice. And I'm suspecting you're in 7th or 8th grade? 7th?
7th grade.
Yes. So, as a ninth grader, I will tell you this, and you're 1 year younger than me. And I did jump a bit. So, as you grow older, stress will build up, anxiety will build up, you'll understand the material world. You probably already know. You're 12. You're old enough to understand that the world isn't just all cotton candy. I'll put it that way. The world isn't just a bed of roses. It isn't. It isn't rasmalai cake. It's not like so. It's not as you perceive it to be. It has so many different aspects, so many different sides to the world, and you gradually discover more and more of it, and you realize that, oh, yeah, this world is not the right place to be. And you can start there, that, oh, I don't want to be in this world. Or you can start at, oh, I want to be always be happy. I want to always have fun. And you can associate fun with Krishna or associate something with Krishna. And it can be hard. I'm saying it as if it's simple, but it's hard for me. It can be hard too, to find that and link that. But that active effort, as long as you put effort and Krishna sees that, he will help you. If Krishna actually sees that you're putting effort, then he'll help you. He'll say, oh, Binayak, he is gradually chanting, and he's trying to find a place that really find something in me that really he can connect to. That he's trying to find some sort of connection. You know what? I'm just going to I'm going to make sure that the speaker of today's lecture says something that touches Vinayak's heart, and that will be his sankalpa for japa. And something for me that honestly has been that I don't want to take them to birth. I don't want to take birth again, you know? Why take birth again? Why, like, just there's so much going on, and we have the Association of Prabhupada Disciples in this birth, and let's take advantage of that. They may not be there in our next birth. They won't. And we should take advantage. And imagine, like, all devotees will be there. Everything will be there. But it's best if we can do our part and we can help others do their part, so that we can quickly go back and be away from this material world, which is it's not a place to be. So that's been my sankalpa lately. That sankalpa, you must know sankalpa, just a goal or thought or something that you're working towards in simple words. So just setting that and working towards that and putting effort. Find, like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati used to say, that don't don't try to do something in such a way that don't think that you are trying to show yourself to Krishna, that you are trying to see Krishna or something like that. Do something in such a way that, yeah, just give up the mentality that I can go and see Krishna, I can go to Krishna. Give up that mentality and say that what should I do so that Krishna can come, and how that Krishna will want to see me, that Krishna will want to bring me close to him. So find something that you enjoy, find something that touches you, find something that you connect with. Yeah. Krishna sees effort.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for that amazing answer. Hare Krishna. That really helped me.
Thank you so much for your wonderful question.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, Karina, you can go next, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanava Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. My question is, as being 13 years old and initiated, there will be some other people that are like, for example, a 15-year-old teen that is like not as like intelligent as you, or like know it's the right path as you, but like, how do you respect them without lowering your standards, but also like you know, I'm sorry, Prabhuji, I'm starting stuttering, but
I do that too. You saw. Go
so
ahead.
my question is, like, how do you respect them without lowering your standards, but still like being kind to them and like respecting them?
Actually, I have a perfect person in mind who fits this exact situation. And that he used to come to temple a lot, but he's older than me, but he's not too attached to Krishna consciousness. But he's coming sometimes. He sings very good kirtan. His interest, that's where he connects, and he tries to come. He's very much influenced by like the material aspects. But what I do is two things. Sometimes when he's not talking something, many times he talks. Unfortunately, he is engaged in a lot of prajalpa, which I feel very bad seeing, that he's just continuously talking. That too in the temple, talking about just some random people at school who did some silly things here and there. And honestly, I can't say that I talk purely, but at least I try to refrain from talking things that are very much away from Krishna consciousness. Yeah, prajalpa means gossip or waste talks, as Prabhuji put it. And what I do is I appreciate him, the wonderful kirtan he sings. I play along with him. I play instruments with him. I don't always go up and talk to him. I don't open up my heart specifically to him. And I don't like, I do my own sadhana. I try to stay strong. And yes, sometimes I happen to have his association, which may not be like the best association in the world, but I try to see that he's trying. There's something bringing him to Krishna. Even though it's a little bit, there's something bringing him, and that deserves respect. Yes. So that's how I think of it. I don't know if that helped you, but
Thank you, Prabhuji. That actually helped me so much. Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari Bol. Wonderful. Yes, Rama, Prabhu, please ask your question. Rama, we can't hear you. I think there is some technical issue. Can you go to your brother and you both can ask your question from there? While he is getting ready, Krishna, you can ask your question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. For my question, what inspired you to like associate with Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis and senior disciples? Sure.
yes. So, what inspired me to be with them? Honestly, well, first there was the kickstart that I just like the association was accessible, and I started taking a little bit, just how you naturally like if someone is there, you naturally talk sometimes, and simply by talking here and there, chanting, and especially hearing is very important, and reading Shastra, like hearing from some of my favorite speakers, I heard the importance of devotees, and I personally experienced it. I personally saw how dedicated they were, and I got attracted to that. I personally saw that how much they are attracted to Srila Prabhupada. I personally saw how whatever qualities they have, I want to have in me. That I want to have those qualities, and there's one way to get those qualities. What is that? To associate with them more. So it was I'd encourage all of you, whenever you have a chance, like you have a beautiful opportunity here with Prabhuji, you meet up on a regular basis, whenever you like have the association of a senior Vaishnav, whenever there's like there must be some Prabhupada disciples around wherever you are, and just take advantage at that point of time. And I'd like to point out, I see Mishti on the call. She also does Sanskrit with me, and she's way better. She's has much like I get nervous when our Prabhu calls us for questions, but yeah, I'd like to just give her a quick spotlight that Mishti is here, and I'm very happy to see you here. Yeah, so it's essentially that if you have the association of Prabhupada disciples, take it, because there's no bigger jewel than devotee association, and I got to realize that, and I'm very fortunate that I got to realize that, because that has benefited me so much, that has increased my faith so much. Yes, did that answer your question?
Yes, Prabhuji, and one more last question. So for like you can always get like time, like not everybody gets time to like go to big festivals, big programs like Holy Name Festival in Alatra or Sadhu Sangha in Dallas, Texas. So how can you get the how can you even without devotees, how can you engage yourself in Krishna consciousness?
Without the association of devotees, like if we're not able to go somewhere and we find ourselves in a situation that we cannot get the association of devotees, I'll try to make this quick. Honestly, at that point of time, express to Krishna, oh, there's no devotees around who I can learn from at this point of time. Oh, Krishna, that time you can just vent out to Krishna. That's your point of time that, oh, there's no proper disciples around. There are no, right now I can't get any association in maybe the next few days. And I'm feeling down in spiritual life. I really want some inspiration. Oh, Krishna, please, you please help me get the association of your bhakta. You please help me personally. And also went out to Krishna at that point of time. That, oh Krishna, why have you deprived me of the association of devotees? Please arrange more association of the devotees. Please make sure that I'm always with devotees. At that point of time, Krishna is your best friend, and he's probably testing you. If he's keeping you away from devotees, he's probably testing you. So if you call out, he'll listen. Did that answer your question?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Are there like I know your parents help you and your spiritual master help you, but other than that like who helped you in your bhakti life?
Okay, so you said other than parents and spiritual master, and I've already talked a lot about Prabhupada disciples. And yes, it's very important, and I'd even emphasize it again. But I know you want to know about other people who inspired me. And honestly, it's Krishna conscious friends. That friend group that I have right now at the temple, get friends that are also have similar interest, have similar faith in Krishna, have similar things like have very close connection with Krishna. And when you associate with them, you can have fun. In the last summer, we've been busy lately because all of us are in school and they're all in higher grades than me, so they are even more busy, slightly more busy than me. I have many extracurriculars, so it kind of balances out. We're equally busy. But last summer, we had an amazing time together. It wasn't necessarily 100% sadhana, sit down, chant, shastra. It wasn't like military or something like that, military interpretation into Krishna consciousness. It was more of informal. We had fun. We ourselves we cooked tacos and offered to Krishna, we and things like that. So we had our fun. We went ice skating. It's all about practicality. It's having fun and having fun with people who also love Krishna and trying to find Krishna into that fun. And I'm grateful to have Krishna conscious friends, not only Prabhupada disciples, but devotees, like just who are, God brothers. I feel ashamed to call them God brothers. They're like father, mother to me. But like many of my Gurukula teachers, many senior devotees who are not necessarily Prabhupada disciples, they have also helped me very much. Like Aditya Narayan Prabhu and Ratnarika Mataji. I don't know if any of you are that familiar, but they both have helped me a lot. And they are about the age of my parents. Actually, exactly. Adnan Prabhu is the age of my father, and Ratnarika Mataji is the age of my mother. And they're just like a second set of parents. And they're so very dedicated. They're like the Vaishashika Prabhu and Nirukula Mataji of our community. Book distribution is their life and so. So it's everybody. It's the devotees in general. Does that answer your question? Devotee friends are very important.
Very well. Thank you, Krishna and Rama. We have a few more questions. I didn't realize that Misty and Advaita Chandra Prabhu already are in contact and aware of each other. So let's take Misty or Ethereal. You want to ask your question?
Yes, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. My question is, so here like there's like association in the temple, but like school there's not much. And in the temple now because of COVID, like association is also like decreased. So what can we do like when we don't have association, but like to stop our bhakti from like feeling dry, I guess, in a way?
So one thing, one of the somebody had a similar question, but yours is a little bit more specific here, in terms of a school environment. Now, being friends, as I said, I have friends who go to public school. What they do, I'll tell you what they do, and I really like what they do. I personally don't have much personal experience on this, but because they do, I can tell you. And what essentially they are more into, like, they listen to kirtans throughout. Like their music is kirtan. They may sometimes like some of their friends are hearing an album, they'll sit through the album or something like that to be with her. But their music is kirtan. They listen to lectures like just like that at home at their own time. And at school especially, they've expressed to me how hard it is in the environment, and it's like a constant. And I myself have gone for a few testings and things like that, but to public school environment, it's all like hustle bustle. Like it's not essentially like too much hustle bustle, but it's like the consciousness is like that. It's like so many different mixed attitudes, and it comes down to how much you can absorb whenever you can have Vaishnava association. And Vaishnav Prabhu says a very nice phrase: keep the transcendental vibration going. That once you get a boost of the transcendental vibration, like you strum a guitar, the vibration doesn't immediately stop. It keeps on going until you strum it again, and then keeps on going. Just like that. It's, my friends call it a recharge of a battery. when they go to temple. That, yeah, and I know you must be doing quite well in terms of spiritual life. And the fact that the more association we have off school is better, which keeps us through the school days. A recharge, that gas, we put gas into the car and the car can run through the week, and the weekend is the gas station that we recharge. We put gas again into the car. That's how I understand it. Yes.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
It's nice to see you, Eterio.
Hare Krishna. Mhm.
I remember you joining for the beginning of like the first few classes of Sanskrit.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Hare Krishna.
Cool. Thank you. Yes, Nihira.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So I'm 9 years old and I go to a public school. And sometimes my friends ask me about my culture and Krishna. So like, how do I answer their questions without really like, hurting their beliefs and feelings?
All right. So, yeah, this is quite an interesting question in terms that you are 9, but you are mature due to Krishna consciousness, and they might not be as mature. Other 9-year-olds are definitely not going to be as mature as you are. And because of the association you have, the Krishna conscious association you have. And you are quite lucky to have that association. Now, when they ask you, let's say if you wear neck beads, they may ask you about neck beads or something like that. My father is bringing a charger. You can say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, that's my father.
Hare Krishna.
So, essentially, it mostly depends on how you want to put it. You know your situation the best. I cannot give you an advice that you have to tell it like this. You know your friends the best. You know who you associate with the best. And you know how much they can understand, and you can just tell them little bit, like the basic principles, that we are all like sisters and brothers. We all want to serve God. This is like very basic. It's like in all religions it's kind of like that. Most religions, I'd say. Some there are differences of opinion always, but we're all brothers and sisters, and we all have to love God. And you can gradually go to say, oh, why do you wear neck beads? Said, well, this is just a sign. This is just me expressing my love to God, because I'm not in the state that I can directly talk with Him. So this is why I wear neck beads. And for me, like Shikha, some people have asked me in the store, what's that rat tail you got there? It's a hairstyle rat tail. So I say, or they say, you got some paint on your nose. I said, it's just my symbol of saying that my body is a temple. My body is a sacred space, and God is always with me. And this is just showing that He can hold this to pull me out of problems. I heard this. I heard this from Aditya Narayan Prabhu. And when I was actually 6, and I asked him, why do we keep a shikha? I had a shikha, and I said, why do we keep a shikha? And he couldn't give me much philosophical thing from Archana Padati or something like that, why we should keep a shikha. He just said, Krishna, He holds you from the shikha and He pulls you out of the problem. You girls don't have to worry. You keep long hair. But we boys, we keep a little tuft, so that's our rope. And essentially like that, little, in such a way that it's very friendly. You're not like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. The age has gone for that. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was perfect for his time. That he'd say that, oh, this is not like that, this is not like that. But people, their mentality has changed. So it's definitely, you do it at your own pace. You know best how to do it, and you're your best judge. And if you ever feel struggle, the holy name is there. More importantly, Vaishnavas are there. And I told you whatever little I can tell, but whenever you have difficulty in day-to-day life, in here and there, your parents are always there, and devotees are also there. Does that answer your question?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Neera. Very nice question. Okay, I'll wrap up with this last question, Prabhu, which I think.
I'm sorry I pulled this over time. I just keep on talking. So please excuse me.
We love it. We love it. These days, one very practical and kind of challenging thing is, the age of distraction with so many gadgets, phones and iPads and laptops and so many social media outlets, so many YouTube, Facebook, this, that, so many. I mean, there's countless things to be distracted.
Absolutely.
How do you manage that? And that's a very challenging thing these days. Can you please tell us a little bit?
Yeah, I love how you touched on the distraction topic. Now, my father, looking at my situation, because I'm slightly like I am registered into like I'm going slightly higher in academics, so he said he'd give me a phone when I'm 16. But looking at my situation, he said, "Okay, you need it now," because to text my own friends, I was using my mother's phone, and my mother got fed up. So my father's like, "Okay, I'll give you a phone, but it's now in my control." And it's not always been like this computer, it's a family computer, we all share it, but like my father has its own work computer, and I'm the only other person. My mother's not interested too much in stuff in the computer. She says, "You do it." Has the intelligence, everything to. She said, "I'm not too interested. Can you search this up? Can you search this up?" So she's aloof, but I'm a very techie person. So this is like quite the question for me to answer, but as far as I've seen it in distraction, is that it all depends on how much sincerity we have built, how much control we have built of the mind. And I also struggle with this. So it's very easy to look up something for education and then end up a video on something like you didn't even want it. 11 facts that you did not know about this. So I never needed to know. I never needed to open that video. It's like, and then this. It's natural. And then this technology is perfect for our flickering nature of our mind. It's like giving more vines for the monkey to jump on. And this is something I guess you'll all like. There's a verse. I won't say the verse because I don't know it. I need to still find the verse, but I've heard it. I've heard the translation that the mind is like a monkey who is either, you might have heard this before, but who's either bitten by a scorpion, intoxicated, or haunted by a ghost. And that monkey, you give him a whole territory and say, "This is yours. Go ahead." Oh my god, is it going to jump from tree to tree, go here and there, especially if it's in pain from the scorpion or a haunted ghost or whatever the situation may be. And this technology is the perfect grasp. Now, what I personally did to understand, I acknowledge that time is going in misusing technology. My valuable time, which I could be using into perfecting this life, is going into Maya. Maya jale jhapati adhare. It's a verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita, I believe, yes. That Maya holds you very tightly if you're not careful. Now for Instagram, I do that to connect with other youth around just ISKCON youth specifically. That's the reason I downloaded it. The app itself, to keep connection with youth. I like to do that, just talk with others. And then I know people from the ISV area, so I can't just get all of their numbers like that or something like that. So Instagram is a nice way to connect. But unfortunately, it could be distracting. So what I did is I followed only Krishna conscious accounts, and maybe one or two accounts, like some people, like I know I follow, yes. But I remember I was showing this to a friend. She's like, "Oh my god, you have such a boring Instagram." what is all this? And it's like she's not so much into Krishna consciousnus yet. She's not that. She's getting there. She's definitely getting there. She's quite sincere. That it's like, so boring, you know. Why you only follow Krishna conscious people? And that's the standard I set. Now, not that we can all do that, but try to see. I try to see where things can go out of hand and find a way to control that. And whenever I have to see something in Instagram, I see it's ISKCON Vrindavan Darshan, I enter Prabhu's room, DTs, and then Kirtan Mela here, Kirtan festival here. And that's my Instagram. YouTube gets a little distracting at times. So I always try to assess the point and then figure out that, oh, here I'm going. And distraction, it's very hard to overcome. You have to gradually take steps on, okay, I'm going to stop it here. You know what? I'm going to stop it. I'm going to cut the tab. I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to engage my time somewhere else. So yeah.
Thank you. Very, very helpful, Prabhu. Very helpful. So I know we're almost close to 9 p.m. Eastern time. And maybe we can just use this time to kind of wrap up. And some of the devotees already had to leave because of their sleeping schedules and other commitments during the day. So, but very, very grateful to you, Prabhu, for such enlightening discussion. And I'm sure all of us, and I especially learned a lot today from you. And I'm sure all the devotees here learned something, which is very Krishna conscious and very practical to implement also. So I would request everyone to please express our deepest gratitude to His Grace Advaita Chandra Prabhu by 3 times loudly chanting Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for your time and for your encouraging words. Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you so much. I personally benefited a lot from the session. You asking me questions got me reflecting more on my own self, and Shugulas Prabhu, whatever little comments you were adding, those really benefited. I'm very, very grateful for this chance and this opportunity to associate with you, discuss topics, practical topics with all of you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya eva cha Titanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah. Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you. Have a nice Krishna conscious day.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Krishna consciousness.